Yep, there we go.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unstuck Leader Series. I'm Nazira Ramtram, President and CEO of NRNY Consulting and the founder of Unstuck Leader. Today, we have with us Marissa Jennings, and she is super amazing. I met her through a mastermind group, or was it at a workshop?
I was a mastermind, yes.
Yeah. So that was, I can't remember how many years ago,
Oh my God,
4 years
yeah,
ago?
it's been that long.
Oh my goodness, time flies.
It sure
Um,
does.
and just, my experience in that mastermind group and being a part of it with Marissa and just seeing and hearing about her growth and just how she tackles challenges. And, in our episode today, we'll be able to hear her story. So, Marissa, we'd just love to hear a little bit more about you, and then we'll go into your stuck to unstuck story.
Awesome. So, hi everyone. Thank you so much, Nadira, for having me on your series. I am super excited to share with you today and just be a part of this. So, I'm a mom of one. My son was diagnosed with autism, and I have been advocating for him ever since. I believe that we all have a voice, and sometimes the little ones don't know how to use it just yet. So we as parents have to be that voice for them, whether or not they have a disability. We advocate for ourselves in our personal life or professional lives. So why can I not be an advocate for my son who needs that voice for right now? So my journey has been just learning more about his autism, learning more about the resources that are available and being able to share that with others.
Awesome. And can you share with us your stuck to unstuck story?
Yes, I have so many, but but it's just one that sticks out. I would say my mindset of, hearing a lot of people with that negative stigma with autism.
Mm,
In my family, it was shunned upon in a sense. Well, shunned in a way that it was like, oh, well, nothing is wrong with your child. Don't worry about it. It's just a phase. It's just something that he would grow out of. And at that point, my mindset was just like, maybe they're right. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. And I developed that, oh my goodness, I was so stressed through my pregnancy. Maybe is that what caused it? I
mm,
didn't probably, my diet was probably wrong. I got so stuck in telling myself that I was a bad mom during pregnancy. And I was
mm,
didn't even start doing anything yet,
mhm,
and it was hard. It was really hard. I literally remember just crying myself, big belly and all in
mm,
the bathroom, worried about if I was gonna be a good mom. And it stuck with me and stuck with me and stuck with me. And I was just like, okay, I need to get myself out of it. I met with doctors and they were saying, the baby knows, it feels, it knows everything that's going on. You got to get out of that, down, the depression or whatever they want,
mm,
you want to call it. You need to get out of that because
mhm,
you're not going to be strong. And one thing I learned, fast forwarding when I did the mastermind group is that, you know, we need to get out of our way.
mm,
And that has kept me going. I decided to do all the research that I could do on my son's diagnosis. And I started that battle for him. So I learned everything, I researched, I kept going, and I started to take some time for myself. And I think
mm,
that was the biggest thing for me by taking time for myself and understanding that it's not going to be perfect. I'm not perfect. Everyone has an opinion, everyone could say what they need to say, and that's okay.
mhm,
And, it's really up to me. So I would say the turning point for me is when I started doing the research and seeing how important it was for me. The change of, okay, you know what? I got this. I got this. I'm strong. I can do all of these things for him. He was born with gastroschisis. I didn't know anything about it. No one in my family had any. I no friends, no one at all. and I started doing the research. And then when he was 2 and got diagnosed with autism, that was another blow. But I
Mm,
realized that during my pregnancy and, learning all the things I could of gastroschisis, it helped me. I started learning and growing. And then when he was diagnosed with autism, even though it hit really hard, it
mhm,
was just, okay, I can do this. I can learn what I need to learn about the diagnosis and learn my son because he was most important. I needed to learn
mhm.
him and
Yep.
not compare him with others. You know,
Right.
even to this day, I get my family members saying, "Oh, well, he's not like so and so, or he's not doing like so and
Mhm.
so, and why are you not teaching him this, or why are you not teaching him that? Why can't he do this, and why can't he do that?" And I used to try to explain autism to them, and I stopped. I stopped. I stopped
Right.
explaining to people what
Mm,
autism is because autism is not something that's simple to explain because it's on a
mm,
wide spectrum. And I like to say we color outside the lines when it comes to
mhm.
autism. We don't do
Yeah.
anything for autism is something it's not, the person is not perfect, but the person is not less than anyone else because we're
Mm,
not perfect. And I like to say
mhm.
coloring without lines, when we learn how to color, and that's one of another things that they learn as we learn when we're younger. Oh, color within the lines. This has to be
Right.
this way, and this has to be that way. But,
Mhm,
you know, in everything we do, we stand out. Everybody is unique in their own way. And autism is just one of those things that they learn differently, they grow differently, but we learn to accept, we learn to be wowed by them every now and again. So
mhm.
it's something that I'm learning continuously about it. And now that I know more and things that I wish I had known before, now I can share with others and let
Right.
them know that, hey, you're not alone.
Mhm,
That's another big thing. You're not alone. You can speak up, you can speak with others. And sometimes it does not have to be someone that has a child on the spectrum that you can get good advice from. You just
mhm.
have to know who are those people who can fill your cup because there are some
Right.
people that give you advice and they're literally taking from you with that advice because it's
Mhm.
not really great advice. It's just something that,
Yep.
tell you, oh, well, you shouldn't be doing this as a parent. And, we didn't do this when we were back in the day, or, you always get so many different things. And it's really up to you to decide, what am I going to do? So
Yep.
with that being said, I redid my podcast picture just recently. I was I was like, okay, I need to do something. I need to do something. I started it and then I stopped and then it was like so now I'm officially launching it in April, and April is Autism Awareness Month,
Mm,
and I am definitely just pushing through for that. So that is my stuck to unstuck. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of obstacles to
mhm.
overcome, but I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Marissa, you dropped so many gems, and I'm trying to pick 2 that really, I mean, they're all powerful, right? Your whole story is powerful, and, um, I think one, hearing that you're an advocate for yourself and your son, because as parent, also being a mom, um, is that you're really the only one who knows what your child needs,
Exactly.
and it's like they may engage with you or interact with you differently compared to how they're engaged with someone else, right? And when you try to explain to someone what they're like at home with you, they question it. I'm like,
Oh,
"No, I'm
yeah.
with him all the time. I know what he's like." And so that also leads to like unsolicited advice
Yes.
and how much of that we receive. And I think there may be some that we can take and use it, but then most of it is just what people's observations are, right? Like
Exactly.
uninformed observations.
Exactly.
And so I think that from what I'm hearing, from what I heard you share, is that you've really empowered yourself to take this lead, um, not just in your son's life, but in your own life, to learn and grow, to overcome any challenges, to be very supportive, to also really let go of that negative self talk because you talked about,
Yes,
um, just reflecting on how you may have been like during your pregnancy or, thinking that there was something that you did. And so, I think just letting go of like beating yourself up
definitely.
and letting go of that negative self-talk so that you can really move forward. And I think the steps that you've taken thus far, I mean, I've seen your growth, and just hearing your stories previously about what you've been doing specifically to help your son. I know that, it's not an easy road, but um, I think you've really created a path so that your son can be successful,
Definitely.
at every stage in his life. So, I think your story is amazing. It's a powerful story, and you're building awareness, not
Yes.
just for you and your son, but for other families and who may be struggling with something very similar, or if even there's one thing that's similar, it's still helpful.
Yes.
Um, so thank you so much for sharing your stuck to unstuck story.
Thank you.
And if is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience before we do the table topics?
Sure. One thing I would say is that no matter what you're going through, whether you're a parent who has a child with disability or just a parent in general, is that you are strong and you've overcome so much. You know, even though you don't think that it's that at times, we have so many times we think that, oh my goodness, I didn't do this right. One particular thing stands out and say, oh, well, you know what? Maybe I should have done this or I should have done that differently. But just look at the wins. And the wins could be
Mm,
really small. Just, I got up this morning and I made sure
mhm.
that he had breakfast.
Yeah.
Like simple things like that
Yes.
is a big,
Mhm.
we might think of it like, oh, well, it's just minor, but there's
Mhm.
a lot of things, especially mental health, with when you're a parent. You really have to take time for yourself, whether
Mhm.
it's 10 minutes, a day in the morning, you need that time for yourself. If you don't do that, then your day and, it goes on. Because my son,
Right.
he knows when I'm having a bad day. He
Yeah,
knows,
they feel it. They know
they
it right
feel it. He's like,
away.
okay, what's wrong with you?
Right.
Are you okay? So,
Mhm.
we don't have to put on a face for our kids
Mm.
or anyone. Just make sure that, you're going out there and you're being the best that you can and you're
Mhm.
enough.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're
And I'm going to choose a card.
welcome.
I know. Never know what it's going to ask.
Oh,
All right. Oh, this is a good question. What's your favorite thing to do outside?
oh my goodness. My favorite thing to do outside, it will sound silly, but just run in the yard, barefooted, and feeling the grass. In my
Yes.
coming from an island, and I'm like, okay, I miss home a little bit. So every chance I get outside, I come out and I take off my shoes and I
Mm,
literally just walk in the grass,
yeah.
and my son looks at me like I'm crazy.
It's such a great feeling just feeling the earth, right? Like
Yeah,
just feeling the
you just
ground and
feel
and
connected.
yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on our series. We'd love to have you again and
Thank you
to
for
hear
having
another
me.
powerful story in the future. And um, we're very grateful for you. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Until next time. Bye.